The official training to become an astronaut, in my case, lasted about 8 years. Had to learn to fly jets, learn to use the spacesuit, learn to use the robotic arm, learn all the systems of space station. Had to learn to speak the Russian language because we collaborate a lot with Russia and we fly with them on the Soyuz rocket. But really, my training started, if you want, all the way through my education. Every teacher who's ever taught me anything participated to my training as an astronaut. Over. Hey Josh, well, so the space station is a laboratory. So most of what we do all day is scientific research, mostly in the field of medicine and related to biology. But we also have to maintain space station. It is a machine of incredible complexity, keeping us alive in the vacuum of space. So we do a lot of maintenance to make sure it keeps us alive. And finally, sometimes we have to do spacewalks to go outside to make repairs. Over. We live on the GMT time, so the same time as London. So right now here it is 8:15 p.m. for me. Over. So Caden, it's a little bit, if you go to the swimming pool and you jump from the highest diving board, during those few seconds when you are falling to the water, that's exactly what weightlessness feels like. Except we're like that all day. Imagine falling all day. That's what it feels like. Over. You have to learn how to fly to be in space. In the beginning, when you arrive, you are very awkward. You always knock off things that are on the wall. You bump into walls. You bump your head. And you never can fly straight. But after a while, you learn how to fly, to push yourself just perfectly to move through the module. So it's not hard, but you have to learn how to do it. We move with our hands, going from one handle to the next. We don't move with our feet. We use our feet to carry objects. Over. My favorite space food, there are two. First, I love to share space food with astronauts from other countries. I love to share with my colleagues from Russia. I like to share from my colleagues from the US, from Japan, from Europe, and we can taste food from around the world. But the food I like best is a very special food that was packed by my wife. So I have a few precious packets of dehydrated home cooking. These are my favorite food. Over. Actually, the coolest thing I have seen while here on the space station is outside space station. It is the Earth. The Earth is so incredibly beautiful seen from space. It is glowing blue, moving gently in the vacuum of space, in the dark vacuum of space. And it's obvious that it's beautiful, alive, and precious, and that we have to take care of it. The Earth is by far the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Over. Some people are lucky, it only takes them a few days. Some people it takes more like a few weeks. For me it was a few weeks before I got fully accustomed to zero gravity. Sometimes you can have some headache, you feel congested because more blood goes to your head, you feel a sense of disorientation, your sense of balance is wrong. But after a few days or weeks, all these things become normal. And you have to go through the same process coming back to Earth when you get reused to gravity again. Over. Hey Caleb, I brought with me a few small objects that reminded me of the people I love on Earth. So I brought little toys from my 3 children, and I brought some jewels from my wife, and I brought photos of people I love. That way I have some physical objects as mementos. I brought a Rubik's Cube also that my father gave me when I was a child. Over. It was a little bit scary, it's true, to ride on the rocket, but we are so well trained that it went very well, and we were focused on doing our task correctly. But yes, I was conscious of the danger, but thankfully everything went well. Over. Hey Omar, I certainly hope so. I am fully trained and I am ready, and I hope it will happen. But, yes, Josh, everybody who comes to space station is fully qualified to operate Canadarm. As a matter of fact, every astronaut, every cosmonaut in the world has to come to Canada to get training to use Canadarm. Over. It is beautiful. First you're at night, imagine everything is dark. And then you get a slight glow on the horizon. You see the thin blue line of the Earth. And then it gets slightly orange, and the orange gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually when the sun comes up, woof, it's that bright white light immediately. Sunrise are very fast on orbit because we go around the world so fast, 16 times a day. The sunrise is 16 times faster. It's very impressive. Over. The Soyuz ride was actually only 8.5 minutes. That's how fast the Soyuz goes. And it brought us to orbit in 8.5 minutes. Then it stopped the engine, and then we were slowly getting nearer to space station. Over. I'm an ordinary astronaut in the space agency. I have a special mission because I'm a doctor, so I'm the crew medical officer on board. Also, when I was riding the Soyuz, I was the co-pilot of the Soyuz, so the flight engineer. Over. India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta, please come again. You were broken. Yes, loud and clear. Oscar Romeo 4 India Sierra, loud and clear.